Okay, cool. So we're recording. First, I'll start with recognition. This is where Jared gets to speak. He's really
All
excited.
right, I get to say words.
Words.
Yay.
You're done.
I will listen from here on out. Start with Success Club, and we have Renee with 6, Tamara with 5, me with 7, Gabby with 6, Emily with 12. That's adding both, right?
Yeah.
And Sybil with 18.
Show off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why are you getting 18 for?
Just playing.
That's crazy. Congratulations.
She's like, wait a minute, hold the press. I'm at 20.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. So today something I want to talk about is limiting beliefs, and you can use this in all areas of your life, but the first thing that you're going to work on is your belief system. And if you take out a piece of paper, this call's going to be recorded in case you're not like driving with a piece of paper and pulled over. I'm just kidding. But so that way you can listen to it again. It's only 30 minutes long. You can listen to it over and over, and really it'll help. So if you have your pen and paper, just draw a line down the center and put down like your current belief system. So basically your belief system are, the part of you that is a victim of circumstance. And I know people hate when I say that. They really do, because they're like, this happened to me and that happened to me and Obama's president and that's why I'm failing and like all kinds of stuff. Okay, we can blame it on anything. You're basically a victim of your circumstance. Like, you have to just quit. Seriously. That's the side of you that lives in fear, the side of you that's terrified to get out of your comfort zone, the side of you that believes that success is only those people. Like, I look at some Beachbody coaches and I'm like, that's for Amy Silverman. I could never be that way. Like, she has something I don't have. I mean, that is my BS, my belief system about myself. And that's exactly what it is BS, because it's something that I'm telling myself that it's not even true. So whatever it is that you have going on in your mind and in your speech, because what you think, you speak, what you speak, you do, that is what is holding you back from living the life that you want to live. I don't care if you're living in a cardboard box right now. Like, you can do anything that you set your mind to with your business, with your life, with your finances, with your health, anything that you set your mind to, but it has to start with your belief system. So basically what you're going to do is put a line down that paper, your limiting beliefs. Like I asked Jared to do a few when he was feeling very challenged by this business. But you can just think about your finances and stuff like that. Weight, whatever it is that you want to think about. So his is nobody is going to do in-home programs. I don't have time. My transformation wasn't big enough to get the drastic attention that some of these coaches have. I'm not good at talking to people. So be honest with yourself and write down what it is that is preventing you from whatever goal you have in your life. And then on the other side, rewrite it. What do you want that to look like? So for Jared, he wasn't social. He didn't talk to nobody. He would talk to me. If you put him on the phone, he was like, okay, great, bye. That's the kind of social personality that he had. Just because it was his own limiting belief. I'm shy. And so I was like, you're not shy. You choose to be that way. So he was rewriting that. And he was just saying, I'm not social. Talking to people is easy. Or I am social. Talking to people is easy. I talk to people on a daily basis. There's people constantly around me. That's how you need to rewrite that. Because it's true. You can talk to people. Being antisocial is a choice that you have and that you struggle with because it's what you've told yourself. So as far as nobody's going to do in-home programs, I hear that a lot from people, especially for males, but It's so not true.
Like,
It's so
I
not
did an
true.
in-home program,
Yeah.
so I know
Yeah.
other people are doing it too,
Right.
and getting awesome results. So
So
it's definitely,
yeah,
I
rewrite
had
that.
to throw that thought out because it's
Mhm.
ridiculous.
And rewrite that thought to be, people are getting amazing results from in-home programs. People are too busy to go to a gym. People want to be able to have the privacy of their in-home and work out in-home. So do you guys see where I'm going with, you take that limiting belief and changing it to, right? Exactly. Sybil even says, in an in-home program, if she farts, nobody smells it. Nobody cares. I'm just kidding. But seriously.
But people are saying that, even challengers are saying, like people you talk to even say it, like, I can't get motivated for doing an MO program. Well, of course you can't, because you're telling yourself you can't. So, I mean, I hear that a lot too. Like, no, I can't do an MO program because I can't motivate myself. Like, that's ridiculous.
But it's their belief system, because they guarantee you that if they went to the gym, they're not going to motivate themselves there either.
No,
It's not
people work out.
Right. It has nothing to do with that. It's the belief system they're creating for themselves, and they have to change it. So do that exercise. One side, limiting beliefs, the other side, rewriting those limiting beliefs. And use that in every area, especially when it comes to finances. I don't have the money to do that. How many times as coaches have we heard that? I don't have the money to invest in my health. It's got to be rewritten, or you're never going to, because the people that I talked to 4 years ago when I first started that did not have the money, today they still don't have the money. And if they would have saved $1 a day, they would have $1,200 to spend on their health and fitness. So it's mindset, all mindset. So the way to get out of your BS is to bring awareness to it. There's so many people that are, they say things and they don't realize that they're even saying them, especially when it comes to money. A lot of people grow up in poverty, and they automatically, you ask them to spend money and it's, I don't have the money. Not even thinking about it. They don't even think. They just, I don't have the money, whatever it is. And we have to help them to get out of that. And we have to help them to become aware that they're even saying that, because guess what? They're saying that, so they're spending like poor people. Like, what do poor people do? They don't plan anything. They just drop $1 wherever they want to, and then they really don't have the money for investing in something that's going to change their future. So we have to help them to become aware. If you're a business, nobody wants to buy anything. People are so negative. If you hear yourself saying that, become aware that you're saying that, because guess what? You're attracting that to you. So you really have to bring awareness to the whole situation. That way you know what you can correct. Because when you establish a bad habit, it doesn't go away. You actually have to unlearn it. And the first way that you unlearn something is to become aware that you're doing it. Like for me, it was cussing. Cussing was huge. I would cuss all the time. And then I'd get around people's kids and I'd be like, oh, I need to work on that. So I became aware that I was saying bad words in front of people's kids. And, maybe some parents don't like that. And so I had to unlearn to do that by bringing awareness to it. And really, so writing out your BS, your belief system, and all the BS that you tell yourself is what's going to bring, to really help you to see it. So like when you're walking down the street, you should be carrying a journal. You should be carrying a phone that you can record what it is that you're thinking, because we tend to have these negative thoughts so often that we don't even realize that we're having them. They're just a natural part of our day. And then, it's funny how this negativity is so easy for us to do, but coming up with a goal and a plan to do it is like the hardest thing. Like people are like, oh my God, I might die trying to do this. But it's so easy for us to say all these negative things. So when you have them, write them down, become really aware and bring it to consciousness that you are saying these things. So you can help your subconscious to correct it. So again, make sure you're writing that down. I just felt like the urge to say, like, I know you guys are listening to what I'm saying, but if you don't implement what it is that I'm saying, you're just going to run into the same problems all the time, constantly, years down the line. It's not going to change. You're going to be 50 with the same ideas that are going through your head with negativity until you change it. And that's something, when you start to become aware, that's something that you can teach your kids to become aware, and you can break any kind of generational cycles that have happened in your family, because I know I've had a lot of them, and I've had to recorrect them. And while I look at my cousins that drink and constantly, they smoke pot, they do whatever drugs they want to, I look at them and I used to think, why do they get the easy way out? And I had to take the hard way out and become aware of what it was I was doing in my life. And now I look at my life and I look at their life, and I'm like, I'm so glad that I became aware, and really what I felt was I was what's that word, when you stop doing something and you're keeping yourself from doing it, I can't think of the word, but they were having fun and I was not. I was busting my butt, 20 years old, supporting myself, going to school full time. But I brought that awareness is where I wanted to go, and implementing. That's really what I wanted to say, that is implementing, even when it's not fun to implement it. So your reality is created by your thoughts, your words, and your belief. I don't care if anybody thinks that's hocus pocus. It is the God honest truth. Like, it really is true that what you have in your life, you spoke it, you thought it, you did it. Everything, negative, positive, every single thing that's in your life is because of what we've done for ourselves, and the way that we think, and the way that we believe, the beliefs that we have in our life. So I was kind of asking, I wrote down, ask people if they believe it's true, but honestly, I mean, if it is true, this is so worth you trying to change it. So if you change your thoughts, and your words and your actions follow that, and it changes your life, wouldn't that totally be worth trying? Definitely. So you have to realize, like, the power that you have. And like I was saying before, your entire reality is a result of everything, your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs. So, why is it that some of us are not living the life that we dreamed of living? It's because the hardest thing to do is to bring awareness that we have the power to change it, and that we have to start with correcting our mind and our thoughts. So this is not to say that you can think like The Secret book is a big joke to me, because I'm not going to be like $1 million and it's going to drop in my lap. No, it's more like mindset about your life and what you feel your worth is, and how you're going to make that come into fruition. It's going to take work, lots of hard, getting your hands dirty, but so worth it. So it's more about consciously living. Have you ever I kind of pay attention to we subconsciously just do things naturally, and especially when it comes to driving, it's pretty scary. We've learned how to drive, we're set on autopilot. Our life gets like that too, and until you bring your consciousness around it, we tend to be on autopilot. I always think about driving, because when I drive Brylan to school, it's just kind of like I've driven this 4 or 5 times, a week, or 4 or 5 times, twice a day, 10 times a week. You kind of just go with it and pay attention to the green and red and yellow lights. But if you're on autopilot, your reaction time is not going to be on target. So if you were to get smashed, in the side of, because your reaction time is really slow, you're not really prepared for that. And I feel like it's the same thing with our life. We just keep going until something drastic happens and really changes our life And it could be really a negative thing, and we're just not prepared for it. We didn't see it coming, but we weren't consciously thinking about our future or anything like that. I don't know why that car analogy comes to my mind, but to me it makes sense. If you were in my head, you'd probably be scared, but it would make sense to you too. So if there's something out there that you want, but you perceive that you'll never have it, like, guess what? You're not going to. And I see this with people dreaming all the time. They're like, I'll do a getting started right with call with them, and they're like, I want to have freedom, and I want to be independent, and I want to work for myself, and all these different things. And I'm like, that's awesome, but do you really believe that you're going to get there? Oh yeah, I totally believe it. And then the next day, like, I'm like, oh, have you started doing this, that, and this? And they're like, oh no, my cat is throwing up. I don't know, like some excuse. And we had another one that I was joking about, but it was a little inappropriate, so I had to think of something quick. But when you really believe that you're going to do something, there's nothing that's going to hold you back from doing it. You're going to do all the steps that you need to do it. And so think about some of the, well, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. So start with like the areas of your life that you want to improve. Like pick an area of your life that you want to improve, whether it's your business, your finances, which those kind of two intermingle, your fitness, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your child. Like pick an area and start writing your limiting beliefs. Like Jared and I we didn't used to have this relationship. He was deployed all the time. I had my own life. He pretty much had his own life when we got together. It was just briefly. So it was like that honeymoon period where, everything is fun until we got to Japan. And I was like, oh my God, he's not leaving anywhere. And we really had to get to know each other. And it was hard because our communication was bad, our relationship was bad, our drinking was horrible. Like everything was really, really bad. And we had to figure out, instead of throwing the divorce word around, which we used to do a lot, I had to go to these limiting beliefs that I thought, he'll never understand me. I can't stand being around him. He's not this and he's not that kind of guy. And he's not, like all these different things that I was creating, all these limiting beliefs. A lot of it was my own insecurities about myself. But I was reading something that was said, if you start treating that person like the person that you want them to be, it's like amazing that they start becoming that person. And I really started, thinking about, he is amazing. He does these things for me. He pays attention to me. He listens to what I'm saying, because those were all the things. He never understands me, never listens to what I'm saying. We don't understand each other. And lo and behold, a couple years later, we have really blossomed in our relationship. We've been together for 9 years, and a lot of people that get around us, they think we just got married, because we're always joking and having fun and really enjoying life. And we have a very strong marriage, and we've come a really long way. So again, living beliefs, your new beliefs, start implementing those new beliefs in any area of your life. I already mentioned carrying a notebook with you and a phone, just so you can have, you can take note of what it is, those thoughts that come to your mind, because you really got to be aware of them, because they will bite you in the butt, or they will be your best thing that's ever happened to you. So now that you are aware of creating your limiting beliefs or your BS system and recreating it, we got to talk about goals. So for this, like I said earlier, it's going to be 8 weeks, and we're going to work on just one area. If you're really clear about getting to your goals and stuff like that, you could pick something in different areas of your life and make them a goal. But the whole point of this is, for a lot of us, and I'm not speaking for all of us, but some of us set goals and we never achieve them. And what does that do? It really kills our confidence. And then we start setting lesser goals for ourselves, because we don't want to disappoint ourselves. I know at one point I quit telling people about my fitness journey. I quit telling my husband that I was going to work out, because I would always totally fail. And then not only would I let him down, but I would let myself down. And I see that. And I'm sure every single one of you on here that is a coach or has been in a challenge group, when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you fall off the face of the earth. And we're like, hello? I see you in there, but you're not responding to my messages. What's going on? And it's just our way of separating ourselves from everybody. And kind of went on a rant with that one, but really just stop doing that. That's kind of what I want to say about that. Just stop doing that. Like, we're all adults here. Don't hide. If you fail at life, don't hide from me. It's your life. I don't care. I mean, I want to help you, but it's up to you, you know? So like every single one of us have had visions in our life and for ourselves, whether it's just because you have, I love that. Sorry. For those of you on the phone, someone just put, if you look at Trey Bearer, he's pretty awesome. And he has this one where he's just flipping off and it's blurred out, but it's, oh God, it's so true. And you have to see it to even know what I'm talking about. So every single one of us has had a time in our lives that we've had a vision for ourselves, or we've hit rock bottom, or we've had to make a change because there was no other choice. And especially coming from the military world, there are so many times that we've had to make changes in our life because it's a PCS move, or it's just something you're not given the option. So that vision, whether it was rock bottom, a vision, or something you had to do, it came into fruition. Because what happens when you have to do something, guess what? Your fears, your limiting beliefs, they are all dropped by the wayside. You completely forget about them because there's not a choice. But yeah, when it comes to our goals, it's a choice. Like, we have that whole like, well, I kind of comfortable with my life, and there's only certain days that I get upset that I'm completely broke, like days that I want to buy something, or there's only certain days that I'm upset about my weight because it's the days I have to get out of yoga pants, or you know what I'm saying? It's those days. But there's always that option that today my goal is important, but tomorrow it's not. So when you don't have a choice on your goal, all those fears go away, and that passion or faith to complete that goal, it's way bigger than any fears that we've had. So is everybody, are you guys keeping up with me? Am I making sense here? Like, good? Thumbs up? Yay. Okay, cool. Because I'm looking at everybody and everybody's like, so I'm just kind of like, oh, can they still hear me? No. So when you, again, have to do that goal that you had to do because of whatever reason, and you accomplish it, what does that mean? That means that you can do that again. So if you looked at one of your goals, like your financial goal, and you looked at it like, I have to do that, there is no turning back from that goal, you start losing those fears and you just start doing what it is that you have to do. You really have to like shift your focus on creating the life that you want and the goals that you want to happen, and not focusing on the reasons why you might fail, not focusing on people aren't interested, not focusing on what Susie is doing in her business, not focusing on someone else's weight loss journey, focusing strictly on your goal and what it is that that you're working on. So it really just boils down to, when you have like optional goals, and I will say that life is an optional goal because you can just kind of whiz right through it in snooze town and like be a 60-year-old person that's hoping that Social Security is going to be around, and it's not. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to be there. Or working at McDonald's when you're 70, and I'm not even joking, you'll see that. People are doing that because they can't afford to live, or the regrets. I bet you if you were to go into a nursing home and you were to start talking to some of the people there and asking them about your lives, I bet there would be a lot of regrets there. not because they're in the nursing home, but because 90% of people just snooze right through life. So I'm guaranteed you'll find somebody that has regretted not taking action in their life. So those are all, life is an optional goal. Snooze town or live it big, totally your choice. But the thing that you have to do is you have to decide to do it. Like, you pick out that goal that you're working on for this next couple of weeks, and you decide that if it's, I want to lose 10 pounds, decide. So a decision and a commitment means you will cut off everything that takes you away from it. So if there is a big freaking giant beautiful birthday cake sitting in front of you and it is filled with the most delicious stuff, you have decided that you are going to drop those 10 pounds. And so that cake can be like on the tip of your nose, and you will have enough willpower and focus to not indulge in it because you've made up your mind that this is what I'm doing. Same thing with spending. I have a friend that was, I think, $42,000 in credit card debt, but because she was trying to find herself through what is that therapy, retail therapy, she had to buy something every time she went somewhere. But yet her number one goal was to get out of debt. And I was like, Josephine, if you buy that thing, a fountain, what do you need a fountain for the inside of your house? Are you crazy? Like, is this really your goal? Like, did you really commit to this? Did you decide? So those are the little choices that, you have to really think about and overcome, talk yourself out of it, talk yourself off the ledge of buying something if your goal is saving money, and really, and no matter what, make that goal happen. So once you've decided on making that goal happen, like, you have like totally surpassed the hardest part. Seriously. And I can always tell when people aren't serious because they'll tell me that they're serious about their business and then they haven't done anything that I've asked them to do to be successful. Nothing. And I'm like, did you really decide to do it? You're serious about it? And they'll be like, yeah, I totally did. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Because if you decided to do it, you would have freaking done it. And all I asked you to do is watch a 3-minute video. That's it. You got to meet me. We're doing this together. It's a team thing. So, yeah, I love going off track here. And now I'm like, where was I? So one of the big things that really helped us, and it's kind of funny because we've come a long way, is writing out a day in the life of your dream life. And I gave this assignment to our team a while back, and I don't think anybody did it. Maybe they did. But nobody shared it with me. So if you haven't done it, do it. And Jared and I remember when we first did it, we wrote like a paragraph and we're like, we want to live in a big house. We want to have no debt. We want this, we want that, the end. Like, that was it. So really, like, it's taking the time to do that, taking the time to really think about what it is that you want, not what is popular in society, but what it is that makes you happy. So sit down, like, just clear everything. If you have kids, do it during nap time. Sit in your car and do it. That's where I get peace and quiet, is when I'm sitting in my car. And really write it out. What would a day in the life look like? Would you be working from home? Would you be volunteering? What would you be doing? How much money would you have? What would your house look like? What would you be driving? All these different questions. Would you be, what would your fitness look like? What does your relationship with your kids look like? Every single area that you can think about, write it down. And as if you woke up and this is your perfect life and you're in the middle of it and you're just telling us how your day is going. So I already shared the story about like us writing down our little goal, but this whole thing is, this activity is to help you expand in the areas of your life, because what people struggle with is vision. They don't have vision. It's scary to sit down and think about what it is that you want with your life. And especially our coaches. If you're a coach on this call which I believe almost all of us are, get your coaches to do this. This is how important this is have your coaches dream. Ask them more questions about it. If they say I'm on vacation all the time, where are they going on vacation? If they're driving a car, what color is that car? Like, really get them to dream big and get them to talk about it. Because when you talk about things, you like share emotion. When you tie that emotion to that vision, it really becomes strong. And if you've ever heard, if you've ever had this happen, is sometimes we don't think we're good at things. But then when someone else tells us that we're really good at things, we tend to tie that happy emotion to it, and we become better at it because now we even recognize that we can do it and we are good at it. So that's what you want to help with your coaches, is help them to dream really big. So once you've done that story, pick a part of that life, that dream life, and pick out one goal, just one goal. You're going to break that goal down in a task. So you'll get like a blank piece of paper, and you write all over this piece of paper every single little thing that you want to do. Like, if you want to buy a new car, what is it you have to do? Look on the internet for cars. Google the best car with the best gas mileage. Google the newest car coming out. Google anything. Like, research crazy and just write down all these major tasks that you have to do, and all the little tasks that you have to do too. Is, you know, even if you have to take time to Google or whatever it is, you know. So take out a blank sheet and write all over it every single detail of everything that you have to do. And then you're going to do what's called an expanded goal list. And I kind of have a form that that I'm coming up with, and I'll post in our group just so you get more of an idea. But really, I suggest that you get a notebook, and you just do this in your notebook, and you keep writing in your notebook, because loose leaf papers get lost. Why not keep it in a journal? And this journal can be something that you later look back on at the end of next year, or maybe our kids look back on and they say, oh my God, my mom was amazing and she had a vision for our life, or, you know, my dad or whoever, you know, and this is how she did it. So think about that when you think about journals. It's not just, you know, a waste of your time. So take that, create an expanded goal list, and it's take one of those things that you put on that huge list that you just wrote out of brainstorming, and break it down even smaller. So like, what's something? I had an idea, but I totally spaced it. So say it was Googling cars. So what do you have to do to break it down even smaller? Most of us are really busy, so we have to schedule time to Google for this many minutes, or, you know, just really break it down into like itty bitty baby size steps. And then that's pretty much like start accomplishing those little tasks. And I think the biggest way to do that is to pick out a goal for the week. So you have 8 weeks to accomplish this one big goal. Break it down into 8 weeks of what you need to do. Take your 1 week goal, do the big list, and then take that list and do a small expansion list. And then start plugging those into your calendar. If it's for your business, start, what is it that you need to do? This is how the Power of Threes was developed. It was taking a big goal to a small goal, breaking it down into, okay, this is what I need to do every single day to make this big goal over here happen. And that's what we have to do. It's the same thing. So for a lot of people, they have no clue what they want. They are like, oh, when I come up with goals, it's like fog, you know. I'm that way too in a lot of areas of my life, so don't feel alone. Like when we started with Beachbody, I kind of like had no idea like what my goal was or anything. All I knew is I was at a point in my life where something had to be done, because we were going to get divorced if something didn't change. I was, you know, working on being over 200 pounds. I was just really miserable with my life, and I didn't know what to do. And what happens when you get to accepting that I don't know what to do, you get into uber research mode, and you talk yourself out of your goal because you're like, I'm like overwhelming myself with all this information, and then you shut down. And I tend to do that. I'm learning not to do that. but I tend to do that too. So instead of overthinking, take an action step. For me, that was, I'll use our journey that we're coming up with. I have 3 minutes to do this, but something told us that life wasn't right in Washington, and so we sold our home and we moved to Arizona. Scary step, huge scary step. We only owned our home for 18 months. So we get to Arizona and we're like, ugh, something's still missing. So what we're taking little steps in. Now we've decided that, we've looked at our life. We know we like traveling. We like all these things. We love being together. We love doing things together. We want to be able to homeschool our son. So we put everything that we like, and we decided that we're going to travel the U.S. for a year by RV or fifth wheel. And so it's like one step. Once I start taking an action step, I swear that these other action steps come to me. People come to me that need to be in my life at that time. Money comes to me that needs to be in my life at that time. Like, once I have faith in my belief system about what it is that I'm going to be doing, and I start moving towards it, I swear every door opens up. And that's the biggest thing, is you have to take that action step of whatever it is, even if you don't know what the bigger picture looks like, because we had no idea, 2 years ago that we'd be like, oh yeah, I want to sell everything I own and go live in an RV. I would have been like, a divorce? That's crazy. So it's just like new things come to your mind, and you really start to figure yourself out. And that's what the life journey is about, is figuring yourself out. So I think I'm going to stop with that there, because we have less than 1 minute. I didn't quite get everything I wanted to talk about, but huge steps. If you actually do this, I promise you're going to accomplish your goals like way, way more than you ever have in your entire life in a shorter period of time. So who got anything valuable like out of this call? Did you take away something? Can I see a show of hands? We have less than 1 minute. Anything valuable? Anything new you're going to implement in helping your coaches? Like, sure hope so. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for being on the call. Next week, we're going to continue. You have something, Yesenia? Unmute yourself. We have less than a minute.
I just want to give a real quick shout out. Molly, day 1 of being a coach, and she's on the call.
Yeah, nice.
She's
awesome.
On the phone though. She's not on video. So just so everybody knows, Molly, I see you.
Awesome. That's what it's all about. So it was good seeing everybody's face and phone numbers. We'll see you next week, and I'll post this recording as soon as my slow computer uploads. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.